I hate bugs with a passion. Nothing gives me more disgust and terror than seeing these little shitbags crawling or buzzing around in an area. They're just so damn ugly. Sure, beauty comes down to the perspective of oneself, but look at this and tell me what's so beautiful about a bug. They feel so alien compared to the creatures on this planet. The colors between puke green or brown doesn't help them in the beauty department. To the point I find the stupid blobfish more natural than the colony of cockroaches crawling around in a dumpster. Just think about one crawling on my back makes me feel so violated, unable to be comfortable in my own body for an indefinite amount of time for how revolting they are. I just can't stand people laying in the grass as if it's a comfy bed, because whenever I look down, I only find ants butchering a grasshopper and taking it to their anthill. Occasionally you find one that, hey, it doesn't look too bad, till you find out their lore for what type of messed up things they had to do to survive in their cruel habitat. Honestly, they wouldn't be half as bad. Who am I kidding? They still would be terrible, even if they were all completely harmless. For some reason, they wanted to balance the bugs due to their size, making them distribute large amounts of pain with each sting or bite. Like wasps, I hate these flying bastards. It's as if they're ants that decide to fly and gets pissed at everyone that comes in close contact with them. They should rename them flying assholes. This shitheads makes their colonies in the most inconvenient places. Hey, we decided to move in your front door, and every time you walk through it, we'll attack you for getting near our territory. Yeah, here's a taste of raid. Enjoy in hell, you little bastards. My hatred came from the time when my uncle was destroying an old stable and wanted me to stabilize the wood as he tried to remove the nails. For some reason, they wanted to make their colony in that stupid wood. My crappy awareness failed to notice the nest next to my head as we removed the wood. One of the flying assholes stung the temple of my head, giving me a swollen bump and a headache for a week. Now every time I see a wasp in an area, it says, I ain't gonna contest it till I bring chemical warfare into the solution. I have it pretty lucky compared to other regions where I have to deal with hornets because someone thought it would be funny to make them like wasps but on crack. As if it isn't enough they're able to distribute pain, some of them could be hazardous. 1 second, you go through a couple of cobwebs, only to realize you feel a sense of pain in your body, and now you need to go to the hospital since a black widow decided to bite you. Yeah, I know, spiders aren't insects, they're their own species, but honestly, they don't deserve any respect, so I just bundle them together. I get it, these guys need something to survive in their environment. Animals used to help take on larger prey with their weight class not being too far from humans, or at least give a warning from their colors that hey, if they want to bite, there will be severe consequences. But why in God's name do they need so much venom that they could take on an adult? Especially since they're no bigger than a fist, the same thing could be said about their prey. They're already unpleasant to look at. I don't need a venomous bite to tell me to go away. It's not my fault they also build their habitats in the most stupidest areas, with the webs being nearly invisible. Just make it more visible. It's not like the flies will ignore it, they'll gladly fly towards it. Despite there being harmless bugs not being too revolting to look at, they tend to be annoying as hell, and also stupid. I walk outside and there's a dozen maybills lying down on the ground because the dumbasses didn't learn how to roll from their backs. Also, I remember I was watching cartoons on the television, just chilling eating a bowl of cereal till I felt something in my shoulder, and when I turned my head, I saw a maybill was right there in my face, causing me to freak out and spill my cereal. So yeah, I hate the flying bastards. Same thing as leaving a trap. While a rodent will try to outsmart it, this pathetic excuse of existence will fly until it's overwhelmed with flies without a single one learning that hey, this could be hazardous. It just pisses me off for how little regard these bastards care about their life. Compared to a real animal, they try to learn how to survive, teach it to their young ones, develop genes to survive the conditions of their environment better, and adapt to the changing surrounding areas. Instead, they just use their overwhelming numbers to get over an obstacle, and we carelessly die for stupid things like flying on top of water, only to realize that hey, they can't swim and die, with a conga line of his buddies doing the same thing. They don't care, as long as a couple of them survive, they can reproduce their numbers and repeat the cycle. With their pseudo-cloning trait, they can constantly annoy people flying around their vicinity, bringing their dirty trash-covered bodies on their perfectly good enchiladas. Despite the many warnings to go away, they still return. Especially frustrating when you have this one fly that never goes away from you, and the last thing you want it to enter inside either the nose or ear. While a real animal will take a hint and go away, this non-existent specimen will only really once you go far away from him or manage to kill it. The only thing they'll ever offer is another more interesting creature's source of food. Probably my favorite is the parasite version of them. Look, they're admitting what they are. This is probably the worst version of an insect I could imagine. They are so lazy they can't even bother feeding their own young, so they brainwash a poor bastard to feed it for them. This pathetic excuse needs to depend on other poor creatures for their nutrients, burrowing their insides, spreading whatever disease it might have. Since he went in uninvited, might as well bring the whole family. Why not? There's plenty to go around. As I said, it's already vile of an insect crawling on someone's back. The thought of one of them burrowing inside is just too much to bear. I'm honestly more angry than afraid that they invested so much in their evolution to live in free reign in some creature's body. The only thing I'll ever give credit for an insect as a whole, they have an exoskeleton, which is cool in concept but honestly a pain in the ass to kill them, since you need to hit them a couple of times before they're fully put down, leaving behind a mess in the ground. Just delete bugs from existence, they were a mistake. If we need bugs for nature, then I wish we don't need to depend on them and delete them. I know there are a couple of chill ones that mind their business and don't look half as bad, but there are more bad apples than good ones, and I won't be wishy-washy to get rid of one specific insect. It's either all or none. So yeah, I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill 'em all.